Welcome to Level Up Russellville, the show where we explore the great things happening to Russellville and the Arkansas River Valley. Sit back, relax, these opportunities are real, and you might even be able to take advantage of them yourself. Enjoy the episode. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. Today we're here with Ariel Cohen and Jonathan Fontes. Thanks for joining, guys.
Thank you.
So Ariel, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you're at. You're at a completely different part of the world than our normal guest range here in Arkansas. So tell us about it.
Yeah. So first of all, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure joining you guys out there in Arkansas. So I'm from Israel, pretty far out. Actually, half of my family is are New Yorkers. So I I am familiar with the United States, and in my background, I've studied electrical and computer engineering, and AI. Did my bachelor's and master's degree. Worked in tech for a few years in a few startups, and now recently founded the VoiceBox. We are a company that does consulting and implementation, and actually education as well, which we'll probably get to a little bit later. So that's
Awesome.
the answer.
Yeah. So how'd you get into AI specifically?
So basically, I'm an AI developer. So like ChatGPT or other algorithms, I was the guy that actually sat and researched and then coded and actually developed these types of algorithms in both the voice AI realm, be it text-to-speech models, speech-to-text, noise reduction, stuff that is around you every day. And then what happened was I saw that the rate in which the technology is advancing is so high that I said, hey, if I can't keep up with this, then businesses for sure cannot keep up with this. And there's a lot of room for me to come in and help them. Just knowing what I know and being very tech friendly, just presented a big opportunity. And I really like fixing things. So like getting into businesses, getting familiar with their systems and saying, hey, you can do that and change this, that, and the other, and maybe change the way you work a little bit, and maybe the way you think about it a little bit, and then you could gain like a lot of time back, or make more money, and that's great for all of us.
Absolutely. Before we get into maybe the specifics of what this voice technology can do, I guess I've used AI voice technology before to take a podcast clip. Sometimes we have some background noise and we get rid of it through like Adobe Podcast Enhance. So that's an example of what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly. I've developed algorithms just like that that worked like on probably tens of millions of conversations, and made people hear like crisper audio that just sounds better and is more intelligible. So yeah, I'm highly familiar with that as well.
Okay. Jonathan, what about you? How far have you explored like ChatGPT or anything like that in your business or just your personal life?
I use it quite a bit, but I know I don't utilize it like I should. I think like today I'm probably going to be learning a lot of things about this AI voice. But I do use it quite a bit. I use it a lot. My grammar is not so well, so I use it a lot for grammar, for ideas. I use it quite a lot in my life. Actually, now you can like a hard decision, and you get in there, and I use a lot my voice because sometimes just typing is going to take me forever to get it in there. So, and then yeah, it really opens up your mind, different just thoughts or different ideas. that
Yeah.
you just like you were not expect, and you're getting it there instead of going and meeting up with a group of people. You're getting it from the AI system. So I am and I tell a lot of, and I'm in the construction field, so a lot of my friends, they don't even know what ChatGPT is. And I'm like, hey, look at this. I mean, I showed one of my friends, like, he had all his notes of his quotes and everything. I got his notes and I read it and everything. Boom, boom, write it up as an invoice for me and everything. I think typed it all out and all that. And he was like, whoa.
It blew his mind.
Yeah. Because, I mean, he would have to take all that, sit down at home, get his calculator out, figure all this out. He would have spent another 2 hours sitting down at home while he could have dinner with his family.
Yeah.
I did it in 2 minutes,
Yeah, that takes me back when I first saw what some of it was like doing what you did. I'll voice dump into it a lot of times, and then I'll say, "Okay, I'm dealing with this problem. What am I not thinking about?" You know. And one time, guys, I even cloned my voice with this website called 11 Labs. And Ariel, I don't know about you, but the results they're interesting, but it's not perfect. I can hear myself talking and be like, the way it pronounced this word is a little off. So is that tech going to be flawless one day, or is it already flawless if you do it the right way?
It's getting better and better. So definitely, if you would have added more recordings in different scenarios, it would probably get better. But deepfake, like I've actually worked in deepfake detection for quite a few years, and it's getting better and better. Like
Have you heard of
yours.
deepfakes, Jonathan? It's like explain to us what deepfakes are. It's
So
kind of a technical term. A lot of people aren't going to know what that is.
okay, so for example, like I could speak and record myself, and then I could upload that file into a website, which could then generate the like words and sentences and stories as if it were me, and it would sound the same. It would pronounce the words the same way. And so they had, I mean, in the previous elections, I think they had robocalling Joe Biden, just call people and telling them not to vote without getting too much into politics. But yeah, that's just an example. And I think I really liked what you said about the using ChatGPT um, to formulate thoughts and ask me tough questions. I've done that yesterday. Actually, I recorded myself. I've yapped for half an hour and recorded myself, and then just uploaded it and told me, "Hey, please, like, help me organize my thoughts." And it did such a good job. Like sometimes it could just say the things that you feel and that you don't know how to give like proper wording to. It just helps you kind of get your mind straight. Um,
Absolutely. So you're saying the tech is getting better and better. You were doing deepfake detection. So in your voice box business, are you basically building deepfakes of businesses in a way, or how does that all work?
oh no, that was my in my previous roles
Okay.
in VoiceBox. What we typically do, we come to businesses and then we start first of all with a diagnosis, right? Just like when a doctor comes to treat a patient, he doesn't take out his scalpel when he first sees the patient, right? He first ask him questions, see like what has he been doing the past few days, maybe take some tests, right? So with implementing AI into businesses, it's the same thing. First, we get to know each other. We do what's called an AI audit, which is just kind of a consult, like an initial consult where we go into the business, kind of understand how do the funnels work? Where are people spending their time? Just like you said with your friend that would have written down those invoices for 2 hours, those are the types of things that we look for, right? So we will interview the decision makers, the workers. We want to kind of understand the potential to where we could get quick wins initially, um, and then in the longer term, um, make maybe more infrastructural investments in order to get like longer term ROI.
Okay. So like some of these things that you set up, like I'm picturing, so I know this guy that's in the service industry, and one day he says, Tao, call my phone. And I call his phone. And it's just like this, it's this AI voice talking to me. And it was kind of cool. But at the same time, I'll tell you what, Ariel, if you haven't been to Arkansas, Jonathan, maybe you can vouch for this or not. People do not like talking to robots. Like they will get mad, especially the old rednecks. They'll be like, nah, we ain't doing this. They'll hang up real quick. So, I mean, are these voice systems good enough to pass that sniff test? Or do they still make
Well,
people mad?
that's actually a very good question, and I think that if implemented correctly, we find that people actually like them, and it gives them a better experience. I'm talking about the customers, and so it really depends how you implement them. If you come into a business and say, "Hey, I'm going to replace your receptionist, and I'm going to replace it with AI," right? So you're saving money on payroll. Okay, so some business owners would say, "Yeah, great, let's do it. I don't have to hire for that role. I don't have to train the AI once, and that's it." All right. But that's actually not the best use of these resources. So a better way to do this would be to offer, like, let the AI answer calls after hours, right? Let's say a client wants to schedule or something, like even schedule an appointment to their dentist, right? They want to do it at midnight, or they want to schedule a facial at a spa at 2 a.m. when they saw the ad on Facebook, right? And they want to call. I mean, maybe they like the phone more. Maybe they just want to call and like get a few questions answered, right? So the AI would answer these calls and would able to, if developed correctly, would give a good experience and would allow the business to actually be available 24/7. And we say up front, "Hi, this is um, I don't know, like Med Spa's AI assistant here at your service. How can I help you?" Or I could help you book a meeting. I could help you cancel. Um, and if you want, I could leave a message to the team. And then the team doesn't have to like answer calls at 2 a.m., right? So the business owner gets peace of mind. The clients can know that they could always call in. Um, and it's a win-win, right? So we have a more don't replace people, but more augment their work and complement them using AI, and we've seen great results for businesses being able to answer missed calls, for example.
Hmm. What do you think about that, Jonathan?
I think it's pretty good, actually. We got the message like on Facebook where they leave a message like that. Sometimes as a business owner, you don't want to answer those things. It's
Yeah.
important to answer them, but you don't want to. Sometimes you're too busy doing life, with your family after hours.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I believe AI, and obviously, a person that's calling, at 2 a.m. expects it's not going to get
Yeah.
a
I
real
mean, I'll be
person.
honest with you. Sometimes during the day, yeah, like you called me this morning and I didn't see it till after I missed it
Yeah,
because it's just, I try not to spend too much time on this thing because I don't know.
yeah.
So, Ariel, is there like a recordings or a demo number we could call? Because I'd love to hear this thing, man. I'd just love to go through a flow and see what it sounds like.
I'd have to give you one. Actually, we don't. Um, yeah, the reason that we don't is because people just call it and play around, and sometimes they abuse it a little bit. So,
How do you abuse it? How can you abuse it?
um, like just by calling and draining all our all our um,
Oh, the credits.
yeah, all our credits.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't offer like an open demo, but I mean, if somebody's interested, like and reaches out, obviously, I can tailor make a demo for their business.
Okay. Okay. So, how much does it cost for a business that may, I know this will vary, but what's the operating cost? I'm just talking about the monthly system cost, right? the tokens. I don't know how much these things are that you see. Like, is this tech getting more expensive? Is it getting cheaper? What's going on
Actually,
there?
yeah. So it really depends on the need. So for more complex situations where you want the agent to be able to handle a variety of things, then typical minute cost would be 15 cents a minute, which is equivalent to $9 an hour. Okay, so it's essentially just like hiring a. It's cheaper than hiring a VA. I think. What is a call center costs? I think $15 an hour. I'm I'm not
I don't
100%
know.
sure.
Most businesses, at least around here in Arkansas, again, if there's one thing an Arkansan customer just hates dealing with, it's a company with a call center, right? A non-American. I'll be honest with you. Like, if that person does not speak English, people get mad. Like, there's some major ISPs around here that they outsource their calls to India, right? When you have to deal with them, usually you have a problem, and it makes people. And you go around town, people are complaining about it. So that's the fact of the matter. So I don't know what they cost. And then again, like most robo answering machines businesses use around here, they're usually the bigger businesses. They're not. I don't think they're AI. They're more like the traditional press one to do this, and then you have to wait 5 minutes, press all these buttons, and then as a
Yeah.
business owner, you're busy, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to do this in the middle of your little break, and then you got an employee coming up to you, right, saying, "Hey, we need this." So I don't think it's what you're talking about, right?
No, no. I'm talking about a voice agent that would be able to answer your calls naturally, in a natural manner. Yeah, I didn't know that I would need to bring a demo. Um, I would have prepared one. But yeah, we're not talking about IVRs. No, person calls, boom, gets a person with an American accent speaking to him in natural language. So that's it. And
Cool.
in my opinion, that's a better experience than what you just described, right? I don't want to be pressing buttons. I want to get an answer now. Like I want like if I need something from the business, I just want to be able to do it. And to be honest, if I'm calling somebody and they don't answer me, I'm going to call the next business I find on Google Maps or whatever. Um, and I see something that really surprised me was that the average business in the US misses between 200 and 400 calls a month.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe it.
Um,
That's a lot.
Because there was
yeah,
a point where with us in our relatively small call volume, eh, you know, uh, we had this number set up. I think it was just a Google Voice number or something, and we were getting missed calls like multiple a day. I remember telling Obi, "Is like, man, we're just missing opportunity." And some of these people were following up with us doing our job, right? And then a couple of them ended up becoming a client, and then that's when I realized, like, man, we're just leaving opportunity on the table. So then we set up like a simple phone system where if we get a call, everyone on the team can see it. Very simple, right? Where if it misses, it'll text them and say, "Hey, how can I help you?" What you're talking about is like the next level up from that.
hmm
As far as a live demo, no problem. What would be cool? Maybe you already have it on your website. We can listen to it later, but even just a little commercial, like a recording of a call to be like, "Hey,
hmm
here's what this thing sounds like." Because even though I've heard some of this stuff, I'm still trying to imagine it in somebody that's never heard this stuff. It almost sounds too good to be true. That being said, I mean, I give give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but it does sound like, wow, I wonder how good this stuff can actually be.
I'll give it to you. I have some sample recordings.
Sweet.
It's important for people to hear. Um, and like you said, by the way, it is the next level. So instead of just texting them back and then maybe they don't text, right? So what we do is the AI worker just answers the phone and it can just do stuff. It can text you, it could text them, it could book a meeting, it could update your CRM, it could like you give it tools, it's treated like a worker, right? You give it tools and then it could go and do things. And it also knows things about your business. So like, is there parking? Where's the business located? When are you open? Like all that stuff. That's stuff that like we shouldn't need a person to answer calls for that, right? Um, and then another interesting thing that we found out working with businesses is that if the AI tries to answer the missed call, and then the person, for some reason, like is a new customer and they hang up, or like the AI wasn't able to book, then we text a human telling them, "Hey, a new client called in. Why don't you follow up with them?" And then make sure that they got what they needed. So the humans get only the relevant SMS, like messaging, and then having the humans and the AI work together gave crazy results for one of the businesses that we've worked with. Best experience and best results. So we're not about replacing, we're about augmenting and like complementing each other.
Interesting. Jonathan, how many spam calls you get a day? I get a lot.
Not a lot since I switched phone numbers,
Okay,
but I do get some.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, I bet that could even help a little bit with that too. You get rid of some of those like
It does.
robocallers.
Yeah, it does. We could also
Hey, it's Tal here. Hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. We did end up getting actual recordings of what this system sounds like. So we're going to play just a little bit here for the next 30 seconds or so you can hear how it sounds.
Hi, this is Sarah from Great West Casualty Company Claims. How can I help you today?
Hey, I was calling to report a claim.
Thanks for reaching out. Just to confirm, are you reporting a new accident or incident or calling about an existing claim? Got it. You're reporting a new claim. First, is everyone safe? Are there any injuries that need immediate medical attention? Can you provide your policy number and the driver's name involved in the collision?
Policy number is GLP 123456.
Were any other vehicles or parties involved in the collision? If so, can you share their details?
It's not perfect, but I get what Ariel's saying. If this is after hours and, even if it claims, hey, I'm an AI agent, I'm here to help you, it is pretty good. It's actually scary. Even though it still sounds like a robot, it's able to answer questions on the fly. So really excited to see where this technology progresses over the next couple of years. This episode is brought to you by our collaborators, including Rubio Accounting, Wooten Customs, and Jonathan Fontes, right here in the Arkansas River Valley.
I mean, yeah, a lot of the another benefit that we see aside from capturing the missed calls and like just capturing additional revenue that just was hanging in those missed calls is saving time, both for people having to answer simple like "Where's your business?" type of questions, and also filtering spam calls. So it's an interesting side effect, I would say.
Okay. Hey, you said something a minute ago I want to explore a bit more. You said give the AI tools. So if, like, are there systems that, the AI, say a new customer calls in, they want a quote, that the AI can build an invoice, a quote for a type of business and then send it over, that kind of thing? Is that a type of tool that can be given to these AIs?
If such a tool could exist outside of that system, then the answer is yes. So like if
So what do you mean by that?
For example, if I'm a roofing company or something, or like if I'm a dentist, and I have like a set of criterias, like, do you have insurance? No. Do you want do you want teeth cleaning? Yes. Do you have prior history? No. Okay, it's $100. Or so you could either give it a set of rules, or if it's a little bit more complicated, for example, I don't know, for like a roofing company, or let's take a construction company. So my brother's in the real estate business, by the way, in Dallas, Texas. So for specific house sizes, right, you have like different costs. And I don't know if you want to expose all that, but like assuming you do, you could give the AI specific rules and then have him like just spit out the price based on what the customer says. or like give him ballpark numbers. Also for like a plumber or like a roofer or like anybody that has these numbers and like specific set of rules to calculate them based on like a certain amount of questions, then yeah, we could do that, and we could even pre-qualify a person to see if he's a good fit. Like if somebody's calling in, for example, for an insurance company, like insurance companies a lot of time have to do like this intake for claims, for example. So a person will call in, and then the representative will have to like ask him a whole bunch of questions. So you could have the AI do that faster, and then just give him a like if he's eligible or not eligible to get like the insurance claim or mortgage. There's a lot of use cases for that.
Okay. Interesting.
That is interesting.
So
Yeah, the main thing is like doing something like that with that idea, you know, not just answering calls and making appointments and everything, but some people will want to know how much it's going to cost. So if you give them a ballpark already, roughly what it'll cost, you can really weed some of them people out, you know, because there's people that, you know, they don't probably not looking for quality work. They just want something cheap, you know. And if you're maybe a company that's not in the cheap side, is more about quality work, then you get those customers out and you keep the customers that actually do want your kind of qualities of work, and you're not wasting time. Because that's one thing, like when when I'm in a call or something and the customer wants me to go give them a bid and everything, and already talked to them already, what they're just by talking to them, you already know they're looking for something cheap. And I tell them like, I'm not cheap, but you know, so it's, oh, okay, well, I'll call you back, you know, and you never hear from them, which that's good for me. I didn't make an appointment. I didn't spend 2 hours at their house or an hour at their house and wasted all my time. That kind of just went out, and then I get to work with the customer that does wants to work with me.
yeah. I
So-
wonder if you could even like say you were friends professionally with another company that is on the cheap side. I wonder if once you qualify that customer, if you could just send them over their way as like a referral. Be like, hey, here's a lead. I don't know if that's something you'd necessarily want to do as a company, but just the general idea of like once you disqualify a customer, maybe you have another company that could pick up that. I mean, something like that. I imagine that's possible, right, Ariel? Dude.
Yeah, you know where that's very common actually in law firms. So if
Really?
a person calls in, yeah. So some law firms handle specific kind of cases, and then other types of cases they explicitly do not handle, but they have friends that do handle, right? And those friends would give them a commission. So one use case, for example, is if a person is calling in, and then you ask them, okay, like what happened? Could you describe it? And so on and so forth. And then you could tell them, hey, we don't handle this, but we could transfer you to our like another guy that does that and is highly rated and blah blah blah. Or you could even give it to a human to just like send out that person, so you help him get what he needs faster, and you also get a commission. So there's a lot of important data going on in that in those conversations that we could also utilize.
Okay. Hey, this is actually just giving me another idea that I hadn't thought about before. But my company's we've been working on this platform. And Jonathan, I was going to show you this earlier. I'll show you later. But this platform that's like basically a local discovery platform, Ariel. So you log into it. You don't even log into it. You just go onto it and you kind of cut through the noise of social media, the ads and everything. It's kind of like a business directory at a very basic level, right? But what if I had a phone system set up and people could call in and be like, look, I just want to know what the newest taco truck is in town. can you connect me with them, like an operator, like, hey operator, because sometimes, man, when I'm driving, like I don't want to be on my phone googling things, obviously, because you're not supposed to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and like who wants to crash, right? But I do have time to put a call on my car, and it'd be really cool if I could just call a number and have it route me like an old school operator would. So, that gave me an idea. That might be a future conversation for us, but I imagine that is also, I mean, is anything not possible here, Ariel, that we've said? Or is this all just, these are just problems to be solved? These are just ways to build a system.
So the system that you suggested is possible, but then the question is who's going to pay for it, and like how do you feature one person and you don't feature the other, right? There are like 3 taco trucks and it's Taco Tuesday, and who's getting the traffic, you know? So,
Yeah.
um, but you ask what's not possible. Okay, so what's not possible is it for it to be a human. And sometimes people have these expectations, and my job is to kind of level the expectations down. Um, so basically, when working with these types of systems, I mean, it's just like a new creature. So you have to take care of the data, like of what it knows, and you have to do that on an ongoing basis. Let's say you change your business hours, right? You have to update it. So there's a whole like area of data governance or data maintenance that businesses that want to go, like they want to become AI native businesses, um, have to start doing in order to enable these systems to work well and to reach their full potential. Um, so it will not be a human completely. So you have to kind of get to know what it does, what it can and cannot do, um, and how to work with it.
Okay. I'd say that's pretty good advice. But I've used AI a little bit, probably more than the average person, but I wouldn't say I've gone as deep as possible, right? Like some of the screenshots you put up on LinkedIn, which we might throw on the screen here, like of these nodes and these trees, it's like beyond where I've gone with it, right? So that's it's pretty impressive stuff. But Ariel, if you could just have one key takeaway for our listeners, and again, our listeners are going to be the busy small business owner, anywhere from 1 employee all the way up to 50, 100. What would you want them to know about the possibilities here?
It's easier than you think. You could get value today.
Okay.
Just like John said, you could, just by educating yourself, playing around, experimenting. This is not like on the personal level. Just by like kind of being curious, developing that curiosity to, okay, what can I do? What am I doing today that's taking me a lot of time and that maybe I don't like doing? Maybe I can use AI to do that instead of me. So that curiosity is something that I really encourage people to develop. And then on the business level, I mean, if you're missing calls, then you're probably leaving money on the table. Uh, to be honest, that's probably one of the easiest ones to solve for businesses.
Okay. Were you going to say something, John?
Yeah, I was gonna say with the businesses that you've been working, what's the average how would I say
ROI?
that?
Return?
Return? Yeah, or percentage of more business getting.
Like
That's
the
a great
gains?
question. Yeah, so that would really differ from business to business, and from the nature of the business. So we worked with a property management firm, and for them, the most important thing was not having tenants call in after hours, because the business owner would just hate it. So we put in a voice agent for them, and then for him it was his mental health probably. But for clinics and like dental clinics, or we worked with weight loss clinics and med spas and businesses of that nature that have a high ticket price, like probably over $1,000 like lifetime value. Typically these projects pay off themselves in the first month. So you invest some time into getting to learn the business. On the consulting side, that's like not such a large expense usually, and then the usually development usually pays itself off in the first month. If not, then maybe in 2 months. So
Okay.
there's a big arbitrage between where most businesses are now and kind of what's possible to
So
get
you're
to.
saying there's just with most businesses where they're at today, arbitrage, like that is a word, right? That's like, basically you're saying there's a lot of low hanging fruit. Basically, there's a lot of
Yes.
easy wins that people can just start stacking up
Yeah.
because basically nobody's doing anything with it besides maybe the big companies or the companies that have like tech heads at the helm making decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of them aren't even AI wins. A lot of them are just like automations and digital transformation wins. Like if you, for example, automate, I don't know, invoicing, or automate, like, let me think of another good example. Like I know for construction, quoting is a big issue, right? Somebody comes and each person is different, then you have to like draft up the quote, right? So that's like a tedious process. Then you have to do it again and again and again and again, right? So that could be automated, just to save a whole bunch of hours. So a lot of the quick wins aren't even in the realm of AI. They're just in the realm of automations, and just by having like an external tech savvy person, just like take a look at your company, take a look at the data, do some analysis. I think just getting that clarity is also a big win.
Yeah.
Have you worked with the other like with construction companies?
No, but to be honest, a lot of it is pretty similar.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the problems and the approaches. So we want to solve business problems. We're not just using AI for the hype or the I don't know. Yeah, let's put in an AI agent into your business. Wow. No, we want to solve very specific, tangible business problems that will be easily that you can easily measure and say, yes, this was good. This helped me. So in most cases, you could just find quite a few of these for the average SMB in the United States, or around the world. Usually, you'd be able to find at least a few of these.
Okay. And you mentioned something at the beginning of this. Before we wrap up, I want to make sure we address it if we haven't. You said education is another part of your business. What does that look like?
Yeah, so a lot of it comes down to letting people know what's possible on the personal level. So that would be, for example, teaching people like how to use ChatGPT, how to use Perplexity, how to use deep research, just how to work during your day in a more efficient manner. So that's like individual education. And then the second part of the education is usually around the AI systems that we integrate. So we'll kind of teach people how to use them. What are the limitations? What could it do? What could it not do? How to manage your data better. How to plan, like how to forward plan so that you'll be ready for additional developments in the future.
Yeah, just making people more aware. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
So
aware and ready.
Aware and ready. I like that. Well, Jonathan, do you have any more questions or things you want to explore here? Man, this has been pretty. It's given me some ideas that I'm going to be thinking about. It'll be on my mind for a while.
Yeah. No. I think everything. I would like to see at some point that whatever example.
Oh, yeah.
That would. I'm more of a visual, so I want to see something. So I guess whenever he sends it over to you.
Yeah. If you get to send that over, Ariel, we'll append it to the end or the beginning of the podcast. Because again, if people are able to hear that, this is gonna. I kind of see what you're talking about because I've been going far into this space. But for that person that's just not aware of AI, that audio, that visual, whatever it is gonna connect those dots. So, Ariel, how can people contact you if a listener here is like, well, we want you to come in, analyze the business? What is the best method that they can get a hold of you?
Email, probably.
Good old email. What's your email? Let's read it off.
Ariel at thevoicebox.ai. Either that or they can just text me on the phone as well. Actually, yeah, maybe that'll be easier. So my number is 435-774-0265.
Okay, is that like a U.S. number people can just text as normal, or do they need to WhatsApp or anything? Okay.
No, they can text. Not my WhatsApp number is different, so text is best.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you for your time. This was great.
Thank you, guys. It was fun. I hope you have a great day, and I'm here for everything that you'll need, and I'll send the samples over.
Excellent. Sounds good. And we'll edit the beginning and end of this podcast. We'll pin that in. We'll put your credentials or your contact information somewhere obvious. And hey, seriously, I'm going to message you later, ask you some more questions because I'm going to explore that idea, have a bit more fleshed out, see if there's business value. And then if I believe there is, we should talk about it.
You mean in the operator?
Yeah, the operator. Let me think more about that and do some brainstorming and see if there's really if it's just a cool idea or if it's like, okay, this could actually bring value to the business. Because if it doesn't bring value to the business, it's a waste of money, waste of time for everyone.
I actually had a friend with a similar idea, and I don't think he carried it out. So if you want to, I think we could do something.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time, man.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Talk to you. Bye, John. Bye, Tom.
This episode is brought to you by our partners and collaborators in the Arkansas River Valley. If you've enjoyed this episode, visit rvtownsquare.com. Give us an email, a text, a call. Let us know who you want to see on the show next. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.